Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Spiritual Chat Live. Today, Rachel is back so we can do another predictions live. Today, we're going to do predictions for July through September. I've got a few predictions that go a little bit past that. And Rachel will usually recap a little bit of her predictions from what we've done earlier this year and see what's come to pass. So, and I know Rachel's got some interesting things that she's going to talk about today about Rainbow Warriors and that prophecy as well. So welcome, Rachel.
Lovely to see you, darling. Interesting start to the day.
Yes. It's always interesting when we have computer mishap. So
yeah. Very curious.
So how you doing? How's everything going?
Yeah, good. It does feel like there's, I mean, I know the Schumann resonance has been going off,
Yes.
on and off for weeks now. So if people are having trouble with sleep or they're just feeling really antsy or out of sorts, that's probably a big factor. I was looking at one Schumann resonance website this morning, and it had a Q factor, which I thought was really interesting. So I've got to look more into that. So people keep talking about quantum computers being what, the Q drops are around. What if it's the Earth? It's just an interesting
It
thought.
probably is because, for a while we weren't having the whiteouts, on the Schumann. Now they're
Yeah.
back. And then we've had
Yeah.
2 timeline jumps this week. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, one was because the a couple of them happened. I always get really I can be tired because I've got my circadian rhythm set, where I go to sleep the same time, I wake up the same time. But every time they're going to happen at night, there was one last night actually, because I was tired. I was ready to go to
Okay.
sleep, but I kept thinking there has to be a timeline jump coming. And sure enough, there was. I can't remember what time it happened. It was sometime after midnight for me.
Okay.
So, but once they happen, I can go to sleep. But it's almost like I get this boost of energy and I can
Yeah.
do things or whatever. And then as soon as it happens, I'm like, honk, sleep. So,
Yeah.
but if they happen in the middle of the night, if I've already been asleep, they wake me up.
Well, it might explain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned some sleeplessness to me
Yeah.
this morning, and that might be part of it.
Yeah.
Because I looked it up thinking, oh, well, that's probably what the problem is. But it's fine now. It's at the normal, it's actually just below normal right now.
Yeah. But do you remember when we first started doing these, when we were on Twitter doing uh, what was that
Yeah.
called? What's that called on there? We were like, it was like a radio thing or whatever.
Basis or something?
Spaces. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I remember then, like whenever the whiteouts would happen, that would keep me awake at night.
Yeah. Right.
And then it got to where those didn't bother me, and now I'm not really even like I've slept through some timeline jumps. So I think it's like our own personal frequency is like you're getting more like as you're raising your frequency, as you're getting more in tune with the earth and all of that. I think that has a lot to do with it as well. So no,
Yeah.
everything's ramping up for sure. Everything's speeding up 100%, it's
Yeah.
actually 1,000% or more. But I mean, it seems it seems like more and more are getting in tune, in sync is what it feels like. So just
Yeah.
it won't bother you forever. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah. Just breathe through it, guys, because it's I mean, we've got all these astrological alignments coming up in July where we've got the truth of the truth coming out. And it really will be the truth of the truth. It's going to be really intense. It's interesting. We got for last year, July was going to be massive celebrations, and there were, but this year it's going to be a combination of celebrations and people freaking out.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting you say that about the truth coming out in July, because that's one of the things I got with mine for July too.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
massive. And I know we've been saying that for a while because even last year, like I was talking about, this some tsunami of truth was coming and it was building. But I don't think people understand how big the tsunami of truth thing has been. And we've been having many
Yeah.
waves of it, right? But
Yes.
I feel like this is like we're at the end. So it's like the big crash is here,
Yeah.
per se, or the storm is here. So, and I'm not talking about the
Yeah.
storm like everybody's been talking about in politics or whatever. I'm talking about like the soul storm, like the
Yeah.
storm is here.
Yeah. Yeah. we're on it, absolutely. As you know, we've both been seeing these, aura changes in people going up to this rainbow frequency. And I'll talk more on that in a minute. But a friend of mine, a really dear friend of mine called Sarah, who's very psychic, said to me, when you see the rainbow, you'll know the work is done. And I do feel like I can just sit back a little bit now because people are coming up to that frequency. So, and that's that Rainbow Warrior Prophecy. So of when we all come together and we beat the dark and we're in it, it's
Yeah.
incredible. But it's
Yes.
going to be intense. It's going to be a tidal wave for a lot of people who are not awake.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's in some of my predictions that I've got. Like it's what's coming, and it's pretty interesting how my guides were giving me the analogies to tell people how it was going to be. But like you, when I'm doing readings or in my course, when I'm looking at people's auras and they're learning to read auras, where you're seeing where they're at in their current soul frequency. And then like way up here is where
Yeah.
the rainbow's starting. It's starting to come in, or maybe that's a little lower to them. Or I'm telling you, like it's so encouraging because there's no doubt. There's no
Yeah.
doubt that we've won, that this is it, And so when you're seeing it with everyone, used to, it wasn't like that. Even a year ago, wasn't like that.
No, it wasn't. The last 3 to 4 weeks of readings for me, all but two or three people have been in the Usher frequency. And I've been ramping it up and talking about it on my Substack. I've got a new Substack, Rachel Vaughan, Epigenetic War. I'll just do a shameless plug there. Um, since the 1st of June, when I started sharing it on the Substack, I've had almost every client has been in that frequency. It's just mind-boggling. The last course that I taught, almost everybody was in that frequency or just about to achieve it.
Yep.
So I think we're attracting a lot of people in that frequency at the moment.
And it's good. It's good.
It is a beautiful thing. It is a really beautiful thing.
And if they're not there, they're almost there. So they just have like a little more soul work to do. But see, that's encouraging because they're not going to be like some of these people that haven't started their soul work, or maybe, because, yeah, so it's going to be quite intense.
And we're in a 1 year. When would be the perfect time for this shift to occur? Now. Literally now.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
half of people, if we look at, say half of people have their birthday in the first half of the year, so because you're still in your 9 year until your birth date actually occurs in the 1 year. So it's very timely, very
Yeah.
timely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, that makes sense to me too, because you know how, so when we started doing these predictions lives on here, it was in January 2025, and you and I both said there was a 2-year window that people had from 2025 to 2027. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I kept thinking, okay, so everybody has 2 years to start working on their stuff, get their stuff done, whatever. And so then we did the live this year, we had the first shift in February. And at that time, I was seeing the second shift as at the end of this year. Well, I've been shown there's a second shift, and that's what's happening in July. There's a
Yeah.
second shift.
Yeah. Wow.
Then the
Yeah.
third shift will be at the end of this year, going into January. So, see, that makes sense because if everybody's still like, if there's still people in a 9 year because their birthday doesn't come until December, that would make sense, right?
Yeah.
There would be
Absolutely.
3 shifts, right?
And I
So,
thank Asta for pointing this out to me too. At one point, it was like, oh, that's right, duh. I haven't had my birthday yet because my birthday's not till September, so I'm still clearing away what doesn't serve me until then.
yeah. Well, shameless plug for Asta. She's got a ground
Yeah.
root numerology course starting July 7th and 8th. She's got 2 courses going. So highly recommend. I'm going to be in one of them because I want to learn the numbers correctly. I want to learn all
Awesome.
that stuff correctly. So because it all ties together. Everything ties together. And I love numbers. I didn't like math, but I love numbers. So I want to learn it all because I'm always asking her, what's my numbers today? What's my numbers today? Tired of me asking her. So I want to learn it myself.
Oh, very handy friends to have.
Yes. All right, lovely. Well, where do we want to start today? You want to do your recap? Did you do recaps this time?
Yeah, yeah, I did do a
Okay.
recap. So, yeah, I'll just go through what did come to pass. So I've been predicting since last year that Keir Starmer would be kicked out of office. I mean, blind Charlie could see that was coming. It finally happened. I was predicting that for April last year or something a little bit more severe. And that might still be coming because the the fermenting of hatred in the UK has been so intense. Partly, as Max pointed out to me this morning when we were communicating, the Kalugi plan to flood Western countries with immigrants, illegal aliens, and that's the theme for the next 3 months is going to be illegal aliens, but it's not just going to be people coming from different countries. It's not just human. It's very, very interesting. It's all going to be happening all at once. The illegal aliens and the actual disclosure about the true aliens that have been with us and have been here forever. Maybe they were here before we got here. Who knows? So all of that's going to be coming out very, very soon. So I did get that governments would be falling. Starmer's one great example. There's a Liberal leader here in my country who got kicked out in February. The long-serving Hungary Prime Minister, he got kicked out in April. There's a Venezuelan president who was ousted in January, and obviously Ali Khamenei ousted in Feb, in a pretty rough way, supreme leader of Iran. So that destabilization is just going to keep happening. So that was part of the government's falling. I'm getting a mass exodus again for illegal aliens from countries that they've been flooded into. That also came true for the last prediction series, and it's going crazy at the moment in South Africa, for instance. In the UK, people are leaving in droves. France, there's all these different countries where people are just leaving en masse. I also got that Big Pharma would be going bankrupt. It just keeps on happening. We're not getting the big names yet, but it's all disintegrating in the background with this patient cliff where they're going to lose hundreds of billions of dollars. I also got home births exploding, people not wanting to go to the hospitals, nurses leaving in droves. Those sorts of things have been happening. And even to the point now they're doing scare campaigns with home births again because they're so terrified of this free birthing, because it's the natural a woman should be having her child, where the government doesn't get to jump in at the first instance and take the baby away if they want to traffic it. And they don't like that. So they're going against people for doing that. So they were the main ones that did come up. What about you? Did you do a recap?
The only thing I did was with the earthquakes, because
Yeah.
I was quite surprised. I'm always surprised when things come to pass that I say. Um, so everywhere that I had said, let me go back to my page here. I had said, and I had said that the earthquakes, some of them might be catastrophic, but loss of human life would be minimal. Now, I didn't get the Venezuela one, but I got India, Philippines, Turkey, Papua New Guinea, smaller quakes worldwide, Australia, Hawaii, California. Like California is kind of a given, but there's I said that the west coast of the US, which there was a couple in Oregon, the east coast of the US, and we did have a couple of earthquakes here in Florida, and there was one in South Carolina. And we felt the one in Florida. It was on
Wow.
it was in June. We actually had two. There was one, there was 3:30, I think, that was on Cape Canaveral, off of the coast of Cape Canaveral. That's like about, I don't know, 30 minutes from me. But the one in June, wrote that down, I think. I think I did. Maybe I didn't. 6.4. Yeah, it was off of the coast of Cuba, but it was felt all the way here in Orlando.
Wow.
So, but I had Mississippi and Utah, and there was actually an earthquake in both of those places. And I was quite surprised by the Mississippi one. I looked it up because I'm like, oh, wow, there really was one there. But some of these other places, they had multiple earthquakes in those places, but some of them were quite large, and like 7.8, 4.2, 6.5. Hawaii had some good sized ones, 4.6, Turkey, 4.9. So I was quite, the earth is waking up, and
Yeah.
it's moving. And I had a dream where I was told about, with the earthquakes, what was happening here on earth. So but then I remembered, I went back and looked, because I was like, what live was that where I was told to watch the Ring of Fire? And that was in January, the January
Yeah.
live from this year. And that's all I was told, was watch the Ring
Yeah.
of Fire. So literally it is like lighting up. So
Yeah,
I believe, but see, there was it this one where it said that there was new land? I think, yeah, the April live is where it said new land would be coming up from these earthquakes and even some
that's
volcanoes,
right.
right? So
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
something with the Ring of Fire in that Ring of Fire where, and I don't know, is that where Lemuria was, or I don't, what land was
Good
there? Because we
question.
know everything they've told us is a lie. So there's something that was there. I just feel like there's something that's going to arise from there, from like all these earthquakes and stuff. There's going to be new land form, new land to us, but it's not really new.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 absolutely.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. And if you look at Earth as a conscious entity, she can push up her land masses wherever she wants to.
right. Yeah. I saw
Mm.
something, I was reading something that said that the heart chakra had actually moved from in England to Hawaii now. Did you see?
I heard that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if the earthquakes, and I'll just tell you what I got about that, this dream I had, and it was a pretty interesting thing. In the dream, I was shown that the earthquakes everywhere, even in rare places like Florida, are dissolving the grid lines. So I was shown these grid lines as green and black. As the earth plates move all over the earth, these grid lines are dissolving from like top to bottom and like left to
Okay.
right, right to left. And I was just shown like it was like I was seeing people like in, like if it was nighttime and you're seeing people like as shadows or whatever, but these grid lines were in green and black and they just literally were dissolving. And I dreamt this. So, and I was shown the word natural real big to confirm that these are natural events. So I
Okay.
was all the places I was shown as having earthquakes in April had at least one. So,
Yeah. Well
yeah.
done. Well done, darling.
But these,
Minimal loss of life from the sound of things. The Venezuelan one was pretty big.
yeah, I think there's been like a few hundred
Okay.
people that have
Which
passed.
is, which
Yeah,
is too many.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is. But it's also
It's
sort
not
of
hundreds
like
of thousands.
home. So yeah, it's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better than hundreds of thousands. So yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna mark that off so I don't repeat it when I start going through my things. I get in the zone. But
I've got this.
that's all I kept track of because I was just fascinated. I've always loved anything to do with nature, whatever. So I was just fascinated by all of that because to me, it's just another confirmation that the earth is helping us dissolve the
Yes.
fake reality. So,
Yeah. And when you described the green and black, I immediately had the vision of the Matrix movie with the green on the back, the green
oh
digital,
yeah, yeah,
grids coming down with the black background. So
yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. I think, a lot of the solar flares and things are there to disrupt that matrix grid to dissolve it.
yeah,
So, and we're having a lot of that sort of activity at the moment because humans aren't as powerful as they think they are. In trying to, control everything here, they can't control everything. They're dealing with, massively powerful identities is the word I want to use because the earth is conscious, the sun is conscious, the other planets are conscious. And whether or not they're all just part of the same dimension, like interdimensionally connected, because I'm not sure if I believe in the whole space thing anymore because it's just,
no,
it's simply the multiverse is the earth and all the dimensions that come off it.
right,
We don't have to travel into outer space, if outer space even exists. It's just so confusing. Everything's so confusing. I haven't been out in outer space because I don't have a friggin' jet or, sorry, a rocket.
right.
So, I mean, how many of us have been out there to make any kind of statement around
Maybe
this?
we don't go up, maybe we go out, you
Out.
know,
Yes, out. Through portals.
and yeah, through portals. And
Yeah.
what's behind the ice wall? They built that ice wall. So I believe there's other dimensions and stuff and, other things past
Yeah.
there. So I
Yeah.
want to go
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That's where I want to go.
What do they call it? Agatha
Yes,
which
yes.
is interesting because you've got Agatha.
Mhm. Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was very prominent with these things. She's very serious. She comes in with the serious stuff. So she was very prominent with these.
Yeah. 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 I know she was with the last ones too, because that's when you know you're coming into business time, when the specific guides come up to share the information.
Yeah, she's the serious one. So Jeremy hasn't been around as much. He's around, but he's just, he's more laid back. So when he comes back in, I'll know that I can like chill out more, relax more. But she's like my serious one. Pay attention,
Yeah.
Angie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, well, do you want to start?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So again, July is going to be the truth of the truth coming out. That's the astrological alignment. That means it can't be stopped. So what I'm getting is that, and I've been since September last year, I've been predicting that the truth about the alien entities that we've been coexisting with forever will finally come out. They've been drip feeding, drip feeding. I don't think it's any political government behind the disclosure. I think it's going to just happen, and that governments are kind of scrambling to try and keep up with it because they're not in control. They're not the ones releasing it. That's what I feel. And that's not to go against any kind of political. I know a lot of this is coming out of the White House, but what I'm getting is that it's something bigger than that. That's bringing the information out. I don't see this as blue beam, but there will be attempts to make it look like it's blue beam, so we all doubt it, and so that it's not, the truth can't come out. And I think that's all been orchestrated in the background intentionally to prevent this. I'm so confident that this is coming out now, and we've had CIA whistleblowers talking about 4 different alien entities here: humanoids, Nordics, reptilians, insectoids, and greys. So we've had Disclosure Day come out as well to point at the greys. Apparently, there's also a CIA whistleblower has been saying that they're using Ancestry and 23andMe to look for the hybrid DNA. They're looking for the Nordics. Why the hell would they be looking for the Nordics? They're the humanoid ones. When you've got these 3 others, apparently. So I'm so confident this is all going to come out that I went public on Monday with my experience with 2 reptilians as a 3-year-old in the tunnel system that I was my family home was sitting over. And my father introduced them to me. So he's an ASIO operative, or was an ASIO operative, which is a Secret Services operative. So he had access to them. So, and I've brought up a lot of evidence around the reptilian connection with Adelaide, where I grew up, on my Substack over the last month. So that's how confident I am that this is all going to come out. And it's all going to come out. I think we've had drips and drabs of these, alien images, these machines and stuff. We've had Matt Gaetz come out and say that there's been alien biologics used in human DNA hybridization. He's come out and said that. That truth, I think, comes out in July. I'm going to give myself to September for the really big stuff, but it's going to come out in a big way over the next 3 months. At the same time, illegal aliens will be leaving their countries in droves. So it's going to be this very interesting. Aliens just going to be a word that's going to come up constantly. I don't know if they've done that intentionally for the algorithms, because when you look these things up, if there's illegal aliens stuff that's going on and they're using that terminology always all the time in the mainstream, it might help to block out some of this actual truth that's coming out. It's interesting how they do these things, because it's the victors that write history. That might be what they're trying to do, because the internet now is our history books. I also feel that there's going to be a big celebration. We got this for last year. I'm getting it for this year. It's the celebration of all of us who've known this for so long. Finally, it's coming out. I also think that they're going to try and bring in the new financial system at the same time. So I think I'm actually seeing riots, but for short periods. It could be the riots because people have been kicked out of countries like South Africa. That could be the rioting that's actually going on at the moment, which is really intense. The Malawians are being chased out, and horrific things are happening. It could be that, but I just see riots, but they're short-lived. Maybe there's a week of July where there's a bit of rioting. It might be because the truth comes out about the aliens. It might be because illegal aliens are being kicked out. It's a combination of the two. I keep getting lots of no confidence motions in government. So that's really ramped up here in South Australia. The police commissioner and his deputy, the South Australian Police Union has voted no confidence in the 2 of them, both of them, not just the commissioner, but his deputy as well. Our premier, who cannot do anything in South Australia without the commissioner holding his hand, has just suddenly decided to go on holiday. And they'd brought out this bird flu rubbish the day after the commissioner's no confidence motion was put in. So I've had an issue with that commissioner for a long time, because he's been preventing proper investigations to what my father was up to. So, you know, my brother talks a lot about that. He's a lot more, he doesn't get scared of things. So he just comes out with it. So I'll let him talk about that when we speak with Shanti next week on Aquarius Rising Africa. So that's what I'm seeing for that. I also see the truth about this South Road project where they're actually destroying the evidence of the tunnels that I've proven exist with the help of a lot of other people. They've helped me to prove the existence of those tunnels. That won't prevent the truth about the tunnels from coming out. I also got the strongman factor coming out in the mainstream media. So the strawman, for the people who don't know, that is where we are sold to the Vatican when our parents sign our birth certificate. I believe the Vatican's money was all taken probably years ago. They don't have it anymore. And that money will come back to us. Now, I don't want people to go out and do stupid things and buy stuff on credit that they don't have. You know, this is not financial advice. I've been seeing this for a long time. It keeps coming up in readings, so I'm talking about it again. I feel that might also come out, or the mainstream acknowledgement of it, even if it's denigration. There will be acknowledgement of it more in the media. People will be talking about it more. And I think we're going to get that money back eventually. Somehow it doesn't cause inflation when we all get it at the same time. And I'm not talking about a universal income. That's not what I'm talking about at all. These are large amounts of money. So that's where the debt forgiveness comes in, because you've got your strawman money. You get it back. And that's going to wake a lot of people up. I also see all the main religions that are headed by a jealous God, these monotheistic religions, that it's just one God and you have to kill everybody else that doesn't believe in your God, they are going to disintegrate. That could also be part of the rioting. That's probably closer towards September. That's going to be really intense for a lot of people. There is a God. He just doesn't have a beard. He's not a white guy in the clouds. It's the collective consciousness, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So there'll be a return of an understanding of Earth being, you know, the mother, the sun being the father, and this is not paganism. This is the root of all religion before the monotheistic religions came in, and basically we're jealous, and you can't do this and you can't do that. I do see an early election being called in Australia. That's going to be pretty soon. There's going to be a lot of talk about that. There already has been. Um, they will try so hard to bring out the bird flu, Ebola, Hendra stuff. No one's going to pay any attention. It's going to fall apart very quickly. And in South Australia, because they announced this bird flu thing on the day after the police commissioner was had a no confidence motion from his own people, from South Australian Police, I think they might try and ramp that up and try and go into some farms in South Australia and take out their bird populations. I can actually see people rioting, standing, picketing, and saying, "Don't you dare come in." And I think that will just then disappear very quickly. And it's interesting, even in the paper, they were trying to ramp it up, front page news in my little town of Adelaide. But when you actually opened out and read the article, every single expert was saying it's a storm in a teacup. It's nothing. It's nothing. They tried to ramp it up, but all the experts are saying it's not. It doesn't transmit to humans. It's not a problem, and it doesn't even kill that many birds. So why are we worrying about it? So it was really interesting. They can't even ramp it up with their own people. I also got a terror plot against the Brazilian president. Now his name is Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, and it's just so bizarre because his name literally means famous warrior, dedicated to God and the trees and the forest, or the gods of the trees and the forest. That's what his name means, and he's really full on about trying to protect the Amazon.
Oh, wow.
I don't know anything more about him apart from I've dissected his name because I know Satanists are absolutely obsessed with names and people get into these high positions for a reason. But both Luis and Lula mean famous warrior. Inacio means dedicated to God or divine grace, and Silva means trees or forests. So he's trying to protect the forest. It's so weird. And his thing is stopping the Amazon from being destroyed. Anyway, I see a terror plot against him. So going into the sort of end of this 3 month period, I see the Schumann resonance just continues to go to spike. What this 10 days of darkness might actually might be the Schumann resonance is just, it's out for 10 days. It's impossible for it to actually calculate what the resonance is because it goes so far off the chart. And we see these blank spaces sometimes in the resonance. So that just came to me. I thought that was quite interesting. Again, changing of the old guard, lots of high officials getting kicked out of office. As I said, no confidence motions all over the place. I did get some interference in sports arenas, particularly in the US over the next 6 months. That could be false flags, it could be other things. I did also get biohazards. I had a horrible vision of birds covered in oil, on a coast somewhere. So I'm hoping that's not true. It's just, let's hope not. I do see small businesses flourishing. They keep advertising how they're all failing. I actually see them opening up and actually blossoming. So that could be part of the strongman factor again. The matrix declining as community sentiment uprises to be in a community, and lots of self-governing bodies coming up everywhere. Oh, and I also got with the data centers. I can see this big push, and it's obviously going on at the moment. It goes for another 6 months or so, and then they fail. Now, I'm not sure if that's a solar flare or what's going to happen, but something's going to happen where they're just going to become defunct.
Yeah.
So I would encourage people not to get too stressed out about it. Keep watching, keep making sure it's not happening, keep protesting, keep contacting government, keep bitching and moaning about it if it's happening in your town and it's ruining your life, because the humming and stuff is horrible, makes people really sick. But recognize that it's not going to last. It's not going to last. So they're the main ones that I got.
Did you, before I go into mine, did you see that CERN is shutting down on
Yes,
Monday? Or
yes.
Monday or Tuesday? Yeah, for 5 years.
Years ago, my guides, I said to my guides, are they trying to bring in the Antichrist? Because you kept hearing these stories, and they laughed and they said, don't even worry about it.
No.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic.
I know. I've been saying that people still keep thinking they control the weather. They still keep thinking they're, and I keep getting they're not. They can't
Yeah,
control the weather. I think it's literally the earth trying to figure out what temperature she's supposed to be. Like,
yeah,
yeah, it's been hot here. It's been hotter in June than it should be, but it
yeah.
is raining every day like it's supposed to, and it's raining at a certain time like it's supposed to. So
Oh, okay.
you know, I I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
feel I don't feel like they can control the weather like they used to. And we're not having here, we're not having the chemtrails. Now some days I will see some feathered clouds, but I don't see the streaks. When I see I clear the skies when I see but it's very minimal. The last couple days when I went on my walks, those big, fluffy, summery clouds like you're supposed to have, you know?
Excellent. Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
So yeah. And I think we're in a good place, Rachel.
Yeah,
It is going to be quite intense, is what I received for the next 6 months, 5 months at
yeah,
least. The very first thing I got was I was shown this white curtain for the month of July, and it was like a white curtain coming down for the month. I was told this is the second shift happening. The first shift happened in February of this year. The third shift is coming the end of 2026, beginning of 2027. Asta informed me that July is an 8 energy month and 8 is the judge. So there's massive truth coming. There's also like a lot of soul searching, deep researching, gaining wisdom. There's going to be a lot of people in relationships, jobs, all of that are going to be ending, moving into August, because August is a 9 energy month. But what I don't feel this is, from what I was shown, I don't feel this is judgment in the biblical sense. Okay. It's more personal and individual from what I was shown. The white curtain was like a white flag that, during a, a car race where they
yeah.
do this, and I was actually seeing this. So it was like a figure 8, which is like infinity, which July is also the 8th energy.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
was also getting last lap. So what I was shown was with the waving of the flag, and I was shown a racetrack, which can be in the shape of a figure 8. Some of them are,
Yes.
some of them are an oval, but the track is the matrix. The second shift is souls choosing to exit the track into the pits. There's two options: do your inner soul work to ascend or go home. Souls that stay on the track will be there until the final shift at the end of the year. So it's told people are clinging to things that hold no value or no longer serve them, and it's all dissolving. Everything is speeding up and will feel like they're going at 1,000 miles per hour. I know you guys do kilometers, but that's what I was told, 1,000 miles per hour. Others will feel like they're in a calm, slow motion on a quickly moving flow of smooth energy. And it was shown like a river of melted flowing butter. So those of you that have done your inner soul healing work or doing it now, that's what you're going to feel like. Everybody else is going to be like chaos. The energy is going to feel insanely extreme, and it may already be feeling that way to a lot of you. You cannot spiritual bypass or love and light your way out of this. You become love and light by doing your shadow work and standing in your frequency of truth. You guys have to remember my guide Agatha is telling me all this stuff. So those that have done their shadow work, inner healing, are now having tower moments. And this is like starting in July. So I was shown a giant snow globe being shaken violently. The choice is theirs to rise or go home. You cannot survive in a higher vibrational realm with a lower vibrational inner frequency. Those that have done their shadow work will be clearing out like a spring cleaning. It won't be as heavy or as dark. They may feel the energy of the collective snow globe, but they're outside the snow globe. It will be hard for those outside the snow globe to watch those they love inside the snow globe. And this was given to me several times, the word observe, real big, observe. Stay grounded, balanced, and protect your energy daily. Masks are falling away rapidly. Observe. Walk away from all that does not serve you, no matter who or what it is. This is a warp speed awakening for the majority. It's not going to be slow and gradual like many of you experienced in recent years. For some, it will be too much to deal with. Anyone not in balance will be feeling like nails on a chalkboard times a million energetically. The storm is here. The frequency of truth is here. Those that are open to it have freedom before them, unlike anything known before. Those that aren't open are blocked and will not know it in this lifetime. Respecting your peace and helping when you are asked or called to is the best action. You can't save everyone, and not all are meant to be helped as you think they are or should be. This was an interesting one because I was shown the term 3D junkies. This was interesting.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
Some will try to maintain the higher vibration falsely, but they will sink back to their lower vibrational state. So again, I was told to protect your energy daily, be cautious and aware of who and what you engage with. You will feel more drained than you ever have before when trying to help these individuals, as they have no desire to help themselves. You are their energy source. You can only help those who truly are wanting and willing to help themselves. I was given this warning. There are unhealed light workers amongst us refusing to do their shadow work. They can't run any longer. I don't know who it is or what. I was just given that warning. One of the biggest messages I was given over and over was to observe from a balanced and grounded place, not being robotic or unempathetic, but observe without judgment. The more inner healing you have done, the better you'll be able to understand this. So July through November, this is interesting. I was shown planes being grounded. Going in and out of your country is going to become difficult. Traveling inside of your country will have obstacles by plane. I was not shown lockdowns. I was advised to use extreme caution if traveling outside of one's country. You may get stuck.
Yeah.
I then had a dream. This was a couple weeks ago, of a 9/11 type event in Hawaii, something to do with resorts. I was shown people running, and I was then shown these great big scrolls with names and the word deceased real big over and over on the scrolls. So
Okay.
I hope it doesn't happen. I hope I'm wrong. And then the last thing I got was different parts of the world will be going dark, blackouts at different times, not simultaneously, not entire countries, parts of those countries. This is all part of everything dissolving and moving to the true reality. No need to panic or have fear. Read a book. It will last 3 to 5 days.
Read a book.
I know. Agatha's so funny. Like, read a book. You'll be fine. Read a book. So,
yeah.
But I wasn't getting like 10 days of darkness or anything. It was like 3 to 5 days. And I was being shown different countries, like United States too, places in Europe, Australia, different parts of the world. But it was like black, 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 but it was like going on and off. So, and I got 3 to 5 days. So that's tops. Like anybody can survive that. So,
Yeah. Awesome. Wow. Yeah. So we're both seeing big, big stuff happening.
big stuff. And interestingly, even though we don't say the same thing, it all goes together. And
Yeah.
Rachel and I never
And we
talk.
don't confer about these things
We
before we
don't.
come on either.
We
No.
never talk beforehand except to say, "Are you coming? And is this okay? Is this picture okay?" Because, and I don't watch anything. Like I'll see people post things or they'll send me stuff, and I'm like, I'll watch this after the live because I don't want anything to interfere with what I'm receiving because,
Exactly.
or my dream.
Preconceived ideas gets
Yeah,
it makes you second guess, and then you're not bringing the information through
right.
as
I want it to be
clearly.
a clear
Yeah.
channel, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
especially like every time, it's so crazy. Every time Rachel and I, when we start saying, well, when do you want to do the next live? And when we set the date, bam, that's when I start receiving downloads. My dreams start going off the charts, and I have to keep my little notebook next to my bed because when I wake up in the morning, I'm like still asleep, but I'm writing stuff down.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And this is why I don't like people when they email me for a reading. I don't like them to tell me what they want to know. And unfortunately, that's part of my website. It actually asks you, what do you want Rachel to focus on? I've got to change it somehow. Um, I'm not really good with that sort of tech stuff, but because as soon as I read it, I start getting downloads.
Oh,
And I haven't got time. I've got too many clients. I haven't got time to start writing that stuff down. So I try to leave it to the last minute too. I did most of mine for this last 2, 3 days.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Thankfully, most of mine came in starting when we set the date at the end of May and in June in the last couple weeks. So that the Hawaii one was the last one that I got.
And that makes sense, darling. If the heart chakras move to Hawaii,
I know when I saw that today, I was like,
yeah,
oh, so I just I don't like when I receive bad stuff. I hope that it's wrong. I want it to be wrong,
yeah,
actually,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Well, when you create a knowledge and information around it, sometimes that can help to ameliorate it. It's better to be wrong in those
Yeah.
circumstances and putting it out there and not having any ego around it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would rather like just, send some gold energy over that way. If that makes sense, that what you just said with the heart chakra. So, it may be something that's like actually like just making it because how I've always felt pulled to go to Hawaii because it's such a spiritual place,
Yeah.
not the touristy parts. I never want to go to the touristy parts. I want to go to the spiritual places. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
who knows?
Well, I've seen for a while that there's going to be something quite significant happening with an observatory
Okay.
on Hawaii. There's an observatory that looks like a massive eye, and it's in a really powerful position. Can't remember which mountain it's on, but I know there's going to be something really incredible. That's probably where the heart chakra has gone, actually, where that observatory is.
It started with a K. K-A something is where
Okay,
said the heart chakra moved to. I can't remember.
right.
Well, because I don't know how to pronounce all the. If I lived there, I'd be able to. But I.
Yeah. I love your t-shirt, by the way. It's
You.
very
It's one of
rainbow.
my favorites. It's one of my favorites. And this was one of my sayings that got me. It's actually a Bible verse, but like I'm not biblical, I'm not religious, but it's one of the sayings that got me through when I was dying and in bed and all that. So, but I love it because of the colors and it's so pretty.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
so we didn't already, I feel like today is just, I feel like this whole week has been like a month. Did we already talk about the rainbow prophecies?
Well, I'll just reiterate the fact that I'd always heard the Rainbow Warrior Prophecy was something to do with all the races coming together until I watched something about 4 weeks ago now, where an American Indian gentleman was saying that the Rainbow Warrior Prophecy, it began with the indigo children coming in the 70s. So he was talking about frequency. He wasn't talking about color of people's skin.
Right.
Indigo children in the 70s, and then he said that then the crystal children came. Well, you and I have both seen that. People going up to the crystalline frequency, particularly from 2023 onwards, it started to ramp up. I think it started around 2000, a lot of children coming in with that frequency, but it ramped up. And that's when I hit the crystalline frequency as well. I came in as an indigo or a violet and hit crystalline around that time. And then he said, then the rainbow children came. So he said indigo, then crystalline, then rainbow children. And that's what we're seeing in people's auras. And that's what's blown me away. And this is why Sarah's prophecy of you know, when you see the rainbow, you will know the work is done. It's like, oh my freaking God. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I mean, she's so good. She told me that, was it last year or the year before? So she knew it was coming. So this prophecy is about all the people of the world coming together and basically shaking off the dark energies. I was told in around about 2014 when I came across just a few of these rainbow frequencies. Doug McIntyre's an example. He was an usher way before. My guides told me to call these rainbow frequency souls in human form ushers. Didn't really know what that meant, but they said they usher souls to the other side. Well, now there's a whole lot of people reaching usher status. Now, what do you do when you bring in a golden age? You usher it in. So the golden age is releasing all of the souls that have been stuck here because the Freemasons have been running around putting piezoelectric stones at the heads of graves. You know, gravestones are full of quartz, piezoelectric structures all over the earth energy lines, forcing them into straight alignments. And that's the matrix is holding the souls here. That's prison planet. That is preventing that normal flow of souls in and out. That flow is happening now. That's called the rapture in the Bible. It's not the frozen chosen, as Dottie would say. I love her terminology. It's souls that have been stuck here being released. It is an apocalypse, which is an awakening. It's the absolute horror of the Satanists who've set all this up. And we don't have to destroy all these structures that are holding all the souls here. We just change the frequency. That's all we have to do is change the frequency. And there are people all over the world doing this. Lay Love Down's doing this. So many people have been doing this for a long time. Meditations, guided meditations, going out, putting crystals and things on the ley lines. Now, what you might say, well, why does the quartz in the piezoelectric structures have one effect, but you going out putting a crystal in the ley line have a different effect? And it's all about intent. What the Freemasons have done is evil rituals, satanic rituals. I was in those rituals as a child. I saw it happening in the crossing point of these ley lines. The intent is what actually causes it. We just change the intent. And this is why I encourage people get out in nature as much as you can. And this is why I don't want people going out in nature right now. So
Yes.
that is what's going on. It's massive. It's huge. I'm so glad I'm here for this. I'm so glad I stuck around. I'm glad you stuck around.
I know, me
I'm
too.
glad so many of us have stuck around for this because this is monumental.
Yeah, it's beautiful. This is what I've always envisioned, even as a child. I was like, we're all supposed to come together. And even now, where I still see people trying to be like separate and doing their own thing over here. And I'm like, we're all supposed to work together. Like we're
Yeah.
all supposed to work together. We're supposed to come together. And and when I still people, I'm like, well, you're still an ego. You still got more work to do. But as you are in, as you were saying, like you feel like you can exhale, as you're in
Yes.
that rainbow frequency, you're just kind of like, I'm just gonna sit back. And I told you, I got my good chocolate in the freezer, and I'm gonna watch y'all. I'm gonna watch it because we've already had our tower moments over and over. We've already
Yeah.
done,
Yeah.
and I mean, you still have work to do. Like you have little things, but like it's
Yeah.
done the big work. And we'll be here to
It's
help
yeah,
people
exactly.
as they need
Yeah.
help. But
Yeah. Precisely. And having that optimism about what's coming is really important because again, that's the intent. We are
right,
creating something that we want. We're not going to go into that fear factor again.
no,
So I know that a lot of people, when they realize that there are otherworldly entities that are physical here, that will be terrifying for a lot of people, you
yeah,
know. But a
yeah,
lot of people have had to deal with this on their own for a
yeah,
really long time and they've been abducted. I didn't get abducted
yeah,
by aliens. I just met a couple.
yeah.
But, these poor people have had that experience and they've been denigrated and had no help, no protection from early childhood.
Well, when I was doing my lives back on Facebook in 2019, I interviewed some people that they'd been abducted. They were experiencers. And everybody was liking my lives up until that point. And then they're like, I like your lives, but like you went too far with that. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why aren't you open to that? See, people weren't ready for that in 2019.
Yeah.
I hope
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
ready
It's
for
too
it now.
terrifying for them.
You know,
Yeah.
if you're not, I mean,
Yeah.
it's the truth tsunami is here. The last part of it, it's like this is the last big wave. And
Yeah.
it's gonna sweep people away if they're, you know, because you got the snow globe, you got the wave, like we've got all kinds of stuff coming for people.
Oh, and that was the other thing. This attack on the white race, this attack on the Anglo people, the Celts. So there was this talk about them looking through Ancestry and 23andMe for the hybrid DNA of the Nordics, which is absolute rubbish. What they're actually looking for is the hybridization of the Anunnaki, I believe. And the Celtic people have that. The red hair, it goes back to the central heterochromia. It goes back to that. So I think that's what they're searching for. And the reason for that is, and I watched Kerry Cassidy. I don't watch her very often, but this made a lot of sense to me, and I've spoken about it before. She said that there were Anunnaki, so reptilians and humans here on this planet. The reptilians were just eating the humans. Humans didn't really have much power. And so some who cared about the humans actually bred with them. However they did that. I don't think it was actual physical pairing. How? You get these 20-foot beings. I don't know how that's possible, but anyway, how's a woman supposed to give birth to something that's going to be 20 foot tall when it grows up? So
Right.
not likely, but some sort of DNA connection so that you would have the hybrids. So the hybrids are the danger to the reptilians who have control.
Okay.
So they want to get rid of them.
That makes sense.
So we might see a lot of people going after the hybrids. And we've already seen it. They're trying to eradicate the white race. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Doesn't mean that everybody, in those races is a hybrid, but central heterochromia, Rh negative blood, the Basque group, there's all these other factors. Very, very tall people with this red hair, all of that is a sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Right. Well, are we ready to take questions? Who has questions? We just threw up a bunch of stuff on you guys.
Yeah, that's a lot. There was some, Asta mentioned something about the Q factor on the Schumann resonance website. What did you find, Asta?
Yeah. It was a big long thing, so I copied and pasted it in there.
Okay.
So what I found was it reflects the coherence and stability of the Earth's electromagnetic field. It influences how effectively human brain waves, especially alpha waves at around 10.6 hertz, can synchronize with the Earth's natural rhythms. Changes in the Q factor can affect our perception, consciousness, and even psychic abilities, as we are essentially walking radio transmitters tuned into our environment.
Well, that fits.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting. Me loving energy and stuff. I thought, yeah, that makes sense. And I also
didn't have time to look it up.
I'm cheating because I have a second screen, so I was doing that while you guys were talking.
Thank you. That's awesome, Asta. That's really cool because I saw that within like 2 minutes before I had to jump on. So, wow.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I also added a link there for everybody for your Substack that you mentioned as well. So if anyone
thank you. You're a darling.
Just wondering if
people
anyone
don't know what epigenetics is. So I just want to say epigenetics is the study of environmental factors on gene expression, and trauma is a massive influence on gene expression. So it influences your DNA, and that's why I called it epigenetic war. It's a pun on energetic war, but it's epigenetic. It's generational. Okay, that's my bit.
That was beautiful, ladies. You're right, Angie. Has anyone got any questions? Did anyone want to jump in and ask questions?
Was there any questions in the chat, Asta?
Can't see any. Everyone was just making comments pretty much. A lot of it was me. No, everyone was pretty much just listening in and absorbing everything you had coming in. I did want to, if I can, I'd love to add a bit of numerology to that because I was having a look at the months ahead based on what you girls were saying. So I'll bring you in soon, Mo. Sorry. I see the July the 8th month. I did say to you, Angie, that I felt like it was the judge. I felt like there was a camel being hit a few times. So I feel like a lot of judgment's going to be going on next month. And I noticed when I did the grid that there's a line that's missing, and I feel that there could be procrastination happening in July. So I was just warning everyone, don't procrastinate on something that comes up, sort of thing. I think this just needs to be dealt with. So that's what I felt coming up. And of course, I'm adding to everything you guys were talking about: judge, money, abundance, a lot of shock happening, finance, because obviously 8 is about money. And then we're going to be followed up by that 9 month. And I see a big cross in the 9 month, and that's that procrastination line is there still, and so is the inquirer or the skeptic. So, and we know that 9's about healing as well and ending cycles. So, yeah, I could go on, but I'm going to let Mo talk instead. So I'll pop Mo up there for you guys.
Go ahead, Mo.
Hello.
Good to see you, sweetheart.
Hello, darling. I just can't. I can't see anyone, unfortunately. I can just see myself. I don't know how that worked out, but anyway. Look, I just wanted to ask something a little bit more specific, and around the COVID jabs. Yeah. Do we see that coming out, or is there going to be an apology in 50 years' time?
I think it's coming out thick and fast, personally. So the truth probably will be about the COVID jabs as well.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I'm hoping so, yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to check in on that, yeah.
And that makes sense with your tsunami prediction as well, Angie. I think we've been getting a tsunami of that information for as long as we've been doing these lives.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
It's literally everything. Everyone's going to be hit with like everything, because I've told Rachel this privately years ago, 2018, 19. I was having visions where people's minds were being like blown, like literally blown. And I just thought it was, this was before the jab and everything. So I didn't know. I was like, what is that? Like people, are just overcome with things. And then when the jab came out, I thought, oh, okay, well, maybe that's what it is. But I think it's a combination of things where it's information, it's vibrational, it's, it's everything of what's coming starting now through the end of the year. It's going to be very, very intense. There's going to be so much stuff happening. Listen to all the stuff that Rachel said, all the stuff that I said. Some of our stuff comes together, but it's like, it's literally going to be like this happening here, this happening here, this happening here, this happening here. There's going to be so much happening everywhere worldwide at once. If you think about it, it's just over time, like one thing comes out and they focus on that one topic. Now think about all the topics coming out at once, all that information coming. That's the tsunami. So
yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, lovelies.
Thank you, Mo.
Great question.
Sanjin?
Hi. So I have like 2 questions. One is like you talked about, I think it was Rachel talked about financial system sort of, change and abundance. And then and how does it actually happen? I mean, it's like sounds really wonderful. And so like how like is money comes into my bank account? Like what does it happen? And another question is Hawaii. So my friend lives in Kona Island, and she talked about observatory, and then all the observatories are there. So it's like, what's happening in Hawaii? I'm like, I heard something is happening in Hawaii, so I don't know. It's like, do I have to worry? So those 2 are questions, and the third one is, it has nothing to do with prediction. But I'm actually getting because I'm, so working with the students, I feel like I used to think that brain is where we create stuff, new ideas, like we create new ideas, but I feel more and more like our brain is just a receiver. The creation happens all at the same time, but brain is not creating things, but it's more like, we are this is a receiver, we are the antenna, and is it like I don't know, is it true or just getting a wrong idea? So those 3 things.
Beautiful. So with the way that the financial thing will happen, and I'm not a financial advisor at all, but my sense is that most people living have huge debts, whether it's your mortgage, whether it's, money that you've lent to buy a car or whatever. And what I get is as much as what your straw man is, those debts will be wiped. and then you get some sort of credit. I don't see people lining up to pick up gold, but the credit is in gold. That's what I keep being shown. It's true monetary. So it might not mean all the zeros that we're being promised. It might, because what I'm being shown is this world that we're coming into financially, it has no inflation. That inflation is something that's been, and this keeps coming up in readings, and I've read for a few people that I've shared this romance stuff with who know about the financial system and say it won't cause inflation. So what I'm seeing is that people then get the true value, the true monetary value of what all these numbers are in a bank account. But it's backed by gold. That's what I keep being shown. So again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'll let Angie answer the question regarding Hawaii.
Well, I will tell you this. I was looking at because I've got my notes from the live we did in January. Remember I was told I was shown a controlled collapse of the financial system.
Yeah.
And that was in January of this year. And I was shown those big locks, like moving, like, I just remember them from like the Panama Canal or whatever. So I believe that, sometimes I see things and it may not be in the right month or whatever. It may be in the right year. Sometimes it's in the right month, but in the wrong year.
Yeah,
and like last year, we kept saying there was a big celebration coming in July, but I believe like everything's coming like starting this July onward.
Yeah.
So
and I think no taxes is also something that's going to be coming in this year.
That too. Yeah. But what I feel too with what you're saying, because in the true reality, like Max has said this in her seminars, everything's already set up. Everything's already there, right? So it's none of this fake stuff that's here, the inflation and the fake money and all that. The true reality already has everything set up. So there's gold backed money there, so I know it's hard for everybody to comprehend because I've had to sit and think about it too. And my 7 energy likes to sit and analyze and think about it. But I understand what you're saying, Rachel, and I understand where Sanjin is coming from, where she's like, well, how is this going to happen?
Yeah.
It just will. It's like a vibrational thing. It's a frequency thing. It's where we're moving to. It's everybody just is getting there on a frequency level, and it will just be there because it literally is a controlled collapsing of everything, right?
Yeah.
So with Hawaii, the only thing I received, I was in a dream, and I was dreaming where I was being shown all these people running. It was like on the beach, on the roads, there was all these resorts, and this woman with brown hair was yelling and saying it's a 9/11 type event. And then I was shown all these scrolls with names and the word deceased over and over real big. Now, that's the way psychic things are sometimes, whether I'm dreaming them or I'm receiving them in a vision. That's all you get. So, and I tried to see if there was more information I could get. Sometimes that's the way it works. You're just given a little bit of information because you're not supposed to know everything. I always believe that as light workers, we can send, healing energy or whatever there to protect or help. But again, where we're at, there's a lot of souls going home. There's a lot, there's some things we're not going to be able to prevent. It has to come to fruition. So, but that's all I got, Sanjin, for that with Hawaii. Sorry.
All right. It's all right. Thank you. Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have told that one.
Well, like I said before, when the consciousness, enough people are aware of it, it can stop it from happening.
Right.
And that's where you and I are not coming in with this ego thing where we think,
Yeah.
we have to be right. I see this with so many psychics. They want the worst things to come true, like, New York being nuked. Oh, great. I don't ever see that happening, and it just infuriates me. Really infuriates me.
No, I don't. That's why I was nervous. I was actually sick to my stomach before doing this predictions live because all this stuff, it felt very doom and gloom to me. And but I know there's the good coming, but I know that we have to go through this, as
you haven't presented it in a doom and gloom way, darling. You haven't presented it that way.
Okay, good. I was nervous about saying the Hawaii thing because I don't ever want to scare people, because I believe, like you say, I believe as a collective together, we can change things around. So
precisely.
Yeah. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, everybody. How about that?
Yeah. Kristen.
Rachel. Hi, Angie.
Hello.
Um, just regarding the mass exodus of illegal immigrants from countries, do you see that happening in Australia as well? There's a lot of high-rise building going on, in loads of suburbs around where I live for apartments, and they're completely changing the face of the suburbs and all that sort of thing. So I know you heard it for other Western countries. Do you feel that it's going to happen here as well?
It's really interesting because I know people who work in immigration. You say that we are still it's really difficult to get into this country, into Australia, which is very interesting. Yeah.
Well, that doesn't sort of go with what I'm observing out there because
No.
it's changed completely. And
So there may be the
really
plan to
Pardon?
bring in there may be the plan to bring in a whole bunch of people, Kristen, but I'm being told that that's not happening, that it's actually very difficult to get in, which is very interesting. So I'm hearing this from both sides. What I also know is that how many homeless people have we got at the moment? Australia's in a homeless crisis. There's homelessness everywhere. So what I don't see another huge influx of foreign people coming in. I think that the amount of fear from things like what's going on in South Africa at the moment, where people are being horrifically murdered for daring to be an illegal alien there, that and what's going on in London, people are being chased out of places because they're not supposed to be there. That is just going to be a big red flag for a lot of people who want to immigrate to other countries. So I don't think that people are going to be doing it in the droves that they have been. I think that fear will prevent it. Because, I mean, what these poor people, they leave these countries, and some of them are programmed to come over and cause massive issues, like we know who they are. But there's also people who are desperate. They come over to other countries and then they've got to go back home to nothing because they've sold everything up, or they've gone against their political leaders, and it's very dangerous for them to go back. So I don't think they want to be destabilized like that. It's too dangerous. So I think that whole Kalugi plan push is disintegrating in real time.
Okay. Oh, that's good. Very good. There's a TV personality who you've probably heard of, Rachel, a very prominent guy, Karl Stefanovic. And he's now, he pushed the jabs and he's now apologizing, and he's interviewing people who, wouldn't take the jabs, and, it's like he's jumped ship, he's changed teams, and he's just got the sack from a major news network apparently. And I just wonder, is that I just wonder what's going on there. Is it just another psyop thing, or I don't know if you have any sense about that.
It's Channel 9, isn't it? He's jumped ship. Yes. Or he's gotten away from his contract at Channel 9. Well, I find this really interesting because there's Warren Treadray, who I've got a great deal of respect for and have interviewed with, who had the same experience, and he was absolutely vilified for daring to not take the jab. He wasn't even doing anything controversial. He just didn't want to have it, and they went full throttle at him. This seems to be happening with Karl as well. I don't follow up. When I hear newsreaders use that intonation that they use, it's very hypnotic, and they do it a lot in Australian media. I cannot stand them, and he's one of them, and I just cannot stand listening to him. So I haven't really been paying much attention to what's going on. I don't know if he's still using that way of speaking that's very hypnotic, which I won't use. But I do think it's really interesting that it's another one that's jumped ship from Channel 9. And for those watching who may not know my story, I was used in child pornography at Channel 9 studios as a toddler. And one of my first cousins was a producer at Channel 9 for a children's program. So I hate mainstream media and always have. But I think this is probably part of the disintegration of the mainstream media. So they've created all these stars, and now they can't control them. So I'm hoping it's all real. I don't know, because I haven't been following it closely, because again, I just don't want to listen to these people when they've got this way of speaking. It drives me crazy. I've got a cousin in journalism who does the same thing. It drives me insane.
Yeah, well, I don't listen to him either. I've just seen it when I go to the supermarket, I look at the front pages of the newspapers that are for sale, and I've just seen, little bits of information that way. And this is interesting.
Well,
they've got him clicking his heels as he runs away from his contract.
Really?
That was what I read in an article this morning. Yeah, him jumping in the air, clicking his heels like a leprechaun.
Oh.
Sorry,
Interesting.
Angie, I spoke over you.
No, you're fine. I saw people putting in the chat that it was a psyop, but what if it's like
Okay.
because the truth is coming out about
Mm,
the jabs, and so people are going to try and apologize before that tsunami of truth comes out because
Oh,
all the
100%.
people that took them, they're going to be fire ant mad, man. Like they're going to be coming after all these people. So
yeah.
if they're going to try and get ahead of that because they know what's coming, then that kind of makes sense. In a way, it would be a psyop, but yeah, that's what I was
Mm.
receiving when you were talking, Christian side.
Part of the controlled demolition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. And waking
And
people
it's-
up because prominent TV personalities, for people who are still very much in the 3D consciousness,
Yep.
they'll listen to the people that they've always listened to on the telly. They'll trust them more than, you or I, who are trying to tell them truths.
Yeah.
So it has, for them to wake up or to realize, it has to come from those types of people, because they're the ones that are in their lounge rooms every day. They watch them, they listen to them. And when they start telling them these truths, that's when they'll believe it.
Yeah.
True.
It's so infuriating that they won't listen. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it has to be someone that's, got the special uniform on that works for the special
Yeah.
Yeah.
program.
Yeah, they're so mind controlled. That's the only thing that will get through to them, apparently.
Yeah. Mhm.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen.
Thank you, Angie.
San, is San your name?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for having this meeting so that we can actually see other people that are in the same mindset. It's very calming for me. I guess my question is, you're talking about everything that's going to be happening in July and August and September, and it's been a really heavy year already. Is July going to be oppressive and dark as it has been already in 2026, or who knows? It's because each individual person is going to have a different go of it.
That's what
For
I would.
those of us awake, I don't think it's going to be a horrible thing.
Yeah.
So you're already awake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those who aren't awake, probably it's going to be pretty full on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just felt the energies have just been hitting me hard, and I'm ready for like a little break. Just a little bit of a rest.
Yeah. I'm with you, darling. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go on a tropical island somewhere.
sure.
We'll all meet up. The rainbow's here. We can all have a rest.
Yeah. And then you also mentioned that your birthday wasn't until September, and then you have you have that to get cleaned up, or I missed part of it. So my birthday's in February. Was I supposed to be cleaned up by February? And I still have a lot to do, I think. I don't know.
Well, that just means your personal year changed in February.
Mhm.
So, whatever your personal year was, and we were in a universal year last year in a 9, so you moved into the 1 universal year, and then your personal year also changed. So you'd have to add up your birth date, which Asta could help you with that.
Okay, that's flying over my head. So yeah. Okay. Okay.
So
I'm 53 in September. I'll be 53, which I'll be coming into my personal 8 year. I believe that's correct, Asta.
I'd have to do your birth date for you, Rachel.
Okay, all right. So yeah.
Is
I was
there
just
a way
adding
that
5 and 3 together. So I think the 5 and 3 together comes to an 8, which gives you a bit of an idea of like I'll be coming into an abundant year. So I'll be able to manifest quite well when I turn 53 in September.
Okay.
I don't
Okay. So if I add my age, is it my age? Because then I would be a 5 because I'm 68. So
there you go. So a
That's
5
why
is freedom.
5 is
You
what?
can do-
Freedom.
Oh, I like that. Thank you. Yay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
wait, I have a question. That's not right, is it, Asta? Because I'm adding my age and I'm not in a 1 year.
No, so it's your day of birth and your month.
Oh, not my age. Okay.
No, your day of birth and your month. And then if you haven't had a birthday yet, you add last year's 9 universal year. If you've had a birthday, you add this year's 1 to find out what you are in currently.
Okay, gotcha.
That's Pythagorean, isn't it, sweetheart?
Yes.
So I'm using a different astrology with adding up my birth date. So
Which can't be dismissed as well. I mean, you could add that as well. I would,
Yeah.
because, it's all energy. It's all a frequency. I wouldn't dismiss it, because I know when I turned 50, I did feel very, very free. I felt like doing a lot of fun things, but I also jumped into I think it was a 38, a 35/8 year. So that changed it. But I took on both those energies, understanding them. I could play with both of them. Energy, once you understand energy, you can use either one of those energies. That's why it's so fascinating, all the energies that are around us. We can pull on them and use them to our abilities. We can tune into any one of those energies to help us better understand where we're at. Does that make sense? Yes, Angie.
I have a question. I know. I'm raising my hand because I'm still trying to understand. So, Rachel, you're just adding your age to get your personal year.
That's I can't remember what the particular type of numerology it is, but you can take your age, like you're 53. I'll be 53 in September, so 5 and 3 making 8 can also indicate it's going to be a year of abundance for me, because it's going to be influenced by that number 8.
Okay. See, I'm 55, and that would mean I'm a 1. But if you do it Asta's way, then I'm in an 8. That's quite different between a 1 and an 8. You see where my brain goes? Because I'm a 25/7 life path. So there's the 7 energy where I'm going to sit here now for the rest of the live and be thinking about this.
I've thrown a spanner in. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Was that
It's
all
beautiful.
your question, San?
It is. Is there a word, somewhere that I can go that I can look that up a little bit? Just look up Pythagorean numerology, or?
Yeah, I'll share my website down the bottom here if you want to have a look at my website. Yeah.
That's great. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm just going to jump in and let Marg in the spotlight, because she's been putting her hand up physically.
Aw, okay. Go, Margie.
Hello.
Hi. Just going back to Carl Stefanovic, I watched a interview that he did with Pete Evans, and he seemed genuinely remorseful for what he did. And he got a couple of shots and he regrets getting them, and having his children get them as well. So he did feel genuine, but
okay.
Do I like him? No. But I think he just woke up a little bit later than the rest of us. Yeah.
He's got a brother who's also a newsreader. I mean, what are the chances? So there's a family line that should be looked into.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't trust him, but it felt, genuine.
Okay.
Thanks,
Darling.
Interesting.
I trust your gut on that.
Okay. I'm off to a Estedford.
Oh, have fun.
Yeah, not me. Okay, see you all later.
Thanks, Mark. See you, darling.
Bye.
All right, Deb.
Hello.
Hello. As always, amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much to say. Don't get me going on Carl Stefanovic. But I did want to say about, there are a couple of things. One, in Glastonbury this week, there's been major things. So for me, Glastonbury is very, very close to my heart. I know I've done past life stuff there. And when I'm there, I'm just completely held. Like it's so beautiful. But I also heard maybe sometime last year about the heart chakra was moving to Hawaii. And I read something beautiful yesterday, and it all makes sense. But things have been happening in Glastonbury this week. Massive, massive lightning strikes of pink. And there's the Isle of Avalon, which, we think of Avalon in Glastonbury, that there's also an isle in North Wales that has had this, I'll share it actually, this beautiful auric blue light around the bottom of what would have been a tor. And like, if you know the Mists of Avalon, it was like that.
Wow.
There's been massive floods. There was a massive torrential downpour, and some ancient books have been destroyed. So massive things have happened in Glastonbury and Avebury, where the standing stones are this past week. So that's really interesting, and I've got massive goosebumps.
Same. Same.
Yeah, huge goosebumps. And obviously I wasn't meant to share the other bit, but the immigrants with Kristen. So I don't know if anybody knows Michael Gray, but he runs Cafe Locked Out during, and his partner is a dear friend of mine, Kelly. And they go around Australia in their bus, interviewing people that have, their lives have been destroyed by the jabs, really, or, they're injured, or their livelihoods have been destroyed. And somebody fed to him that Australia are allowing in so many million Indian immigrants, and they've allocated so many million lots of buildings, and they're also giving them $45,000 to set up businesses within Australia. Now, when you think that, I love the Indians, I love India, I love the Indians, and if they can have a better life, then wonderful. But for me, it's exactly what's been happening in the UK. They're doing it to get the votes. We'll give you the money if you vote for us, but it's all going to crumble. It really is. And what's happening in the UK is just horrific. So many innocent people are dying. Like these people are coming over and literally killing the British public, and this is why now they're standing up. So maybe it might scare the Indians. For me, here in Australia, though, we're so vast. I don't think we can come, if you've got 75 million people in the UK that can stand together, we're too dispersed here. So I can't see how an uprising will happen. But to me, it's just like, let's just be kind, I would hate to see hatred that is happening in the UK, but I'm also getting a yearning to go back. And I know we've spoke about this before, but anyway, that's my 2 pennies.
Just before you go, I saw when an election got called that Pauline Hanson would get in, and I am not politically aligned with any of the politicians, but she's very anti-immigration. So that's what I didn't say it before, but I've actually got it in my notes. That's something that I do
think
see.
she will get in, Rachel. I think she will get in, but she's also a Zionist. So again, it's all
very interesting, isn't it?
It's all so interesting. So
but if one government just get ousted, another one can get ousted, another one can get ousted. So
the whole playbook is playing out beautifully, isn't it? So I can't wait to read the book. I think it was Aston. So they've got a good book. I can't wait to read all my books that I've been buying and not had time to read. Bring it on. Thanks for a fabulous show again.
Kristen?
Yeah, thanks for that, Deb. Mine's just a comment, really, which I got the thought when you were talking about the heart chakra moving to Hawaii. It just reminded me that this guy, Roger Spur, who says that everything's biology, it's just a curiosity to me more than anything, because I think, is Australia the solar plexus chakra? And yet Roger Spur says that, pardon?
Uluru is the sacral chakra, is the solar plexus.
They say that, but Bob Jameson says
He's moved it, hasn't he?
It's orange. It's just bright orange, it's like that. Yeah.
Well, Roger Spur says that Australia is a great big heart, and that Uluru is just one tiny little piece of that heart sticking out of the ground.
I got shivers then. I've heard it mentioned as the heart chakra before. Yeah.
And we were part of Lemuria as well. Apologies,
We could
Kristen. We
find-
were part of Lemuria, which was
that's
all heart with agape, pure love consciousness, the all that is.
Right.
So who knows?
Anyway, it's just a comment more than anything. It's just a curiosity to me that, yeah. Thank you.
Love it. Thanks, Kristen.
Mo?
Oh, your sound's gone funny, Del. Can you hear her, Angie?
It's all staticky.
That's really weird.
I can hear
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
it's like you were running underwater.
Yes,
We
very
can hear you,
quiet
but
though.
it's just like running water in the background.
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh, I've got my speaker on. Sorry, I'm not.
I never can hear you at all.
Yeah.
Poor Mo.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Yay!
Yay! Sorry, I'm not very tech savvy. I had my speaker on. I had to turn it off. I'm listening to all of this and I'm thinking, how do chakras move around the world?
Well,
that's a really good question. So apparently the third eye chakra of the earth moves around every year. It's at a different location every year, which is very interesting. So when you think about that being the thought or the intention chakra, very interesting. So with shifting, I mean, ley lines can move. Dragon lines have come online, new ones since 2012. There's been new dragon lines that have come in. They're the most powerful of all the ley lines. So there can be shifts and movements, but how a whole chakra point can move, I don't know. When I heard that the third eye chakra moves around, I thought, actually, no, I think it's in a fixed point, but that they don't want us to know where it is, because that's obviously the most powerful point. The heart chakra is very important also, but if we can get hold of that third eye chakra, that intention, thought process or thought consciousness, and we all go there and do something intentional and loving, maybe we fix the whole problem. But yeah, it does move around. So it was supposed to be at Avesbury, I think, last year, the third eye chakra or Stonehenge. So that means that there's two chakras on top of each other, which doesn't make sense either.
right.
So it's a very good question.
Yeah, okay.
Es-
Thanks for that. I think I've got it. Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you, Mel. Estelle asked in the chat if the collective could move the chakras.
Yes.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Ah.
And the collective includes all the animals, all the birds, all the ocean
Right.
creatures. The collective would have to be everybody.
And
Trees,
maybe
plants, everything.
maybe that's what's happening though. If you think about it, like you're saying,
okay.
there's two
Yeah.
chakras in one place, or like maybe that's what's going on, because we're all working on healing the earth. The earth is healing itself. We're all
Yeah.
trying to come together as a collective. That may be what's happening.
Yeah. I love that. Great question.
Anybody else have questions? If not, we'll wrap this live up. All right, we're gonna wrap it up, guys. So thank you all for being here today. Thank you, Rachel, for being here. It's always a pleasure. Always so much fun.
Thank you for doing all the work.
So why don't you tell us what you have coming up, what you're doing?
Oh, so I have an advanced psychic development course coming up that anybody can join. You don't have to do any prior learning. That starts on the 11th of July in South Australia. In Australia, that's on a Saturday morning. In America, it's on a Friday afternoon or evening.
All right. Where can we find you?
At sixthscience.com, number 6th, which is sixthscience.com. Sixth Science. It's a mouthful.
And on July 11th, 12th for you guys in Australia, I have Kylie. I don't know how to say her last name.
Fantastic.
So I'm so excited to have her on. So
Awesome. That'll be amazing.
Yeah, so very excited about that. So till next time, guys.
Bye.